Southampton won, Arsenal won, and listen, you all know exactly what I'm going to talk about today. You all know where I'm going to start. You all know what the biggest talking point from this goddamn game is, and that's the flipping referee. Disgraceful refereeing performance. And listen, anyone that has watched me over the years, you know I don't like to talk about referees. We had chances in that game. We could have done better. We could have won that game. I'm not blaming dropped points on the referee. But if I'm going to analyse every single Arsenal player, if I'm going to talk about what players and managers and everyone did well, the referee also deserves that same level of scrutiny. And his performance today was absolutely awful. And yes, Arsenal could have won it and should have won it even without relying on the referee. But if the referee did his job properly, we're much more likely to win the game. It was a disgrace of a performance from the ref. And honestly, I'm not even going to entertain the conspiracies about, it's anti-Arsenal agenda or anything like that. No, none of that. He's just an incompetent, flipping muppet of a ref. The amount of instances in that game where I'm literally pulling my hair out, cannot believe what he's doing. There were so many, I had to write them down. And the fact that when I started this, you all know you're tuning into this video to hear me talk about this game, and you know that if I didn't talk about the ref, you'd be in the comments saying, how can you not talk about the ref? We all know what the story of the game was today. So don't let anyone try and make out like the ref was okay or it wasn't the biggest talking point out of the game. Southampton, they did well to stop our momentum, to make it difficult for us. It's the referee's job to kind of understand when they're going overboard, where that line should be drawn. And Coletta Sarr today, he spent all day hugging Jesus, all day pulling Jesus, pushing him. It was ridiculous. He should have got a yellow card nice and early in that game, prevents him from manhandling our player non-stop during the game. The referee let it go on and on and on. And that wasn't even the worst of it. His decision to book Saka was an absolute joke. It's crazy to me. Go and watch that replay where Saka got a yellow card. Go and watch a replay where Theo Walcott got a yellow card. And you think to yourself, how can both of those moments produce the same outcome? There's clearly a leg that Coletta Sarr, it was him again actually, he hung out, Saka, there was contact, Saka goes down, and when it was Theo Walcott, it was complete, like nothing. It was like just complete thin air that he went over, and they both get a yellow card. What a joke of a decision. Absolute joke. What is the flipping point of VAR when you're making game-changing calls like Jesus in the penalty in the first half where he should have had a penalty? I can't even remember who it was. Probably Coletta Sarr again. There were about 3 separate pulls on him in the same moment, in the same passage of play. Right hand, left hand, both hands. And it's like, how can a flipping penalty not be given there? Let's not forget, Gabriel Martinelli got sent off for 2 instances in the same passage of play. He got a red card for it. This could have been 3 flipping yellows. It was 3 goddamn fouls. And not a single one of them was given. How can that not be a penalty? Absolute joke. So yes, Arsenal could have done more. Yes, Arsenal should have done more. Jesus, yes, he should have been more clinical today. But the referee clearly has had a massive impact on the game with his incompetence. And I'm raging about it. I'm so pissed off that a referee can cost us the game to that extent. And now let's talk about Lianco. First half, I'm not going to say punched, but with a closed fist tried to hit Jesus in the back and did hit Jesus in the back. Why has that not gone to VAR? Yes, it's not going to end Jesus' career. It's not the biggest flipping act of aggression, but it's still violent conduct. I was here talking in Arsenal's last game where Gabriel did something stupid against Leeds in the Premier League, and I was saying that his red card shouldn't have been overturned. If I can be honest about that and objective about that, even when it's against one of our own players, take my word for this one. That should have been a red card. That should have gone to VAR. Clearly he's lashed out at him. And if that wasn't enough then, in the second half on Eddie Nketiah, Yes, Eddie Nketiah has pulled his shirt. That's absolutely fine. Give him a yellow card, whatever the hell you want for that. Instead, Yanko attempts to headbutt him. He's clearly tried to headbutt him. He's guessed where Nketiah is and is smashed the head in that position. If Nketiah was there, it's a broken nose and a red card. It doesn't matter whether you make contact or not. If you're guessing where someone is and trying to aim your head in that position in an aggressive, violent manner, that's violent conduct, that's a red card. Even after that, doesn't make contact, squares up to Nketiah, his head in the face of Nketiah, then grabs him by the throat. How are these things not red cards? And what the hell's wrong with this ref? What is the point of VAR, man? I've said so many times, VAR needs to change. Teams need to get appeals. When you have felt as a player that someone's punched me, someone's done something, someone's elbowed me, whatever it is, you should be able to go to the sideline or the referee and say, I want to use a VAR call. Just how they use it in cricket, where if you use it and get the decision wrong, you lose your review. Just how they do it in tennis, in fact, as well. But if the review proves you correct, then you maintain it. They need to introduce that in football. So situations like this, they can actually be properly dealt with. What is the point of having VAR, even if it doesn't stamp out violent conduct, for God's sake? And then players will stop doing it. Today, it was a joke. Lianco and Kaleta had absolute free reign to do whatever the hell they wanted. Gabriel Jesus got zero protection. And let's talk about Jesus. I'm going to stop talking about the referee now, even though that's for me the biggest takeaway of the game. Gabriel Jesus needs to be more clinical. I love the guy. I think he's brilliant. His all-round game, incredible. Right now, though, he is not dangerous enough in front of goal. And he needs to make sure that he puts that ball on target and starts testing keepers out. He's currently not doing enough. Granit Xhaka, again, sort of carbon copy of his goal against PSV in the week. A cutback from our right back and he meets it on a half volley, emphatic finish. He's playing brilliantly. And actually, I felt like we suffered when he went central because I thought he was doing a really good job and avoided being picked up on the left-hand side. But the one thing I will say is that it feels to me like teams just have not watched Arsenal this season. Granit Xhaka has been our sort of invisible man, always free. That's not going to last. With him getting the ball in opposition areas so much in dangerous goal-scoring positions, eventually teams will realise that a player that they don't typically expect to be attacking for Arsenal is Granit Xhaka, and he is there and we're using him very well. But yeah, unfortunately, look, in the first half, the game plan went perfectly. Second half, I felt like I saw Arsenal fatigue. Thomas Partey, I thought was really tidy, really good all game. Second half, I saw that fatigue creep in. I personally couldn't understand why we took Martinelli off. I thought he was really high energy. He was dangerous, lively, hungry. And actually, it was Jesus that just wasn't doing the business today. I didn't mind that Jesus stayed on because I felt like all-round game, it was good. But, why Martinelli came off, I don't know. He shouldn't have come off for me. But anyway, really, it's all about the disgraceful refereeing today. That's the biggest takeaway. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Ultimately, this is just a really, really frustrating game. It was a massive opportunity this week to pull away from the likes of Chelsea and Man United, who took points off of each other. Tottenham have got Newcastle now. Newcastle performing well this season. Again, that could be drop points, who knows? And I really wanted Arsenal to go and get those 3 points. But retain perspective here. 11 games, 9 victories, 1 defeat, and this is our first draw of the season. 2 points clear. We really, really cannot complain. A good effort from the boys and just a really, really hard one to take, because if the referee did his job properly, I think Arsenal would have got 3 points today. Until next time, I'm out, and tune into my 5 at 5 tomorrow. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. See you next time.